President Obama is trying to reach out to corporate America. He's looking for ways to jumpstart the economy. But John Jessup reports the effort does not appear to be well received by business leaders.
At a speech in Texas, President Obama called for making higher education more affordable for all Americans.
And that's why I'm absolutely committed to making sure that here in America, nobody is denied a college education. Nobody is denied a chance to pursue their dreams.
His message well received by the students, but on the campaign trail, his talking points about improving the economy aren't resonating. Not with the majority of the public, not with corporate America, and not with Republicans in Washington.
Where are the jobs?
Despite the administration's attempt to reach out, business leaders remain skeptical. Many see new regulations like the recent financial overhaul and health care reform law as anti-business, evidenced by unemployment stuck at 9.5%. Democrats are hoping today's vote on a $26 billion jobs bill will help give them an advantage. They say the measure is supposed to help states ease severe budget gaps with programs like Medicaid and stop the layoffs of up to 300,000 teachers.
In my own state, they estimate that it will save the jobs of 7,000 teachers, and that's critically important.
But critics argue the bill is a payoff to union bosses and liberal special interests, adding more fuel to GOP claims that Democrats are hurting the economy and aren't helping business.
The job-killing agenda pursued by President Obama and his allies in the Congress, they really do have employers scared to death. I talked to a lot of employers who just are fearful of what's coming next out of Washington.
And about the allegation of being anti-business, of course, the White House refutes that claim, pointing out corporate profits are up 65% over 2 years ago. Critics counter that hasn't yet translated into creating more jobs. John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
The Iranian-backed Hezbollah is steadily rearming along Israel's northern border, preparing for another round of war, it seems. And although most days are quiet on that front, looks can be deceiving. Julie Stahl has that story.
Metula is a small Israeli town on the country's northern border. Bounded by Lebanon on 3 sides, its agricultural fields go right up to the border.
The residents here feel secure, but this security doesn't really exist because when we're dealing with Lebanon and Hezbollah that in fact does what it wants to do in the Lebanese government, everything is fragile.
This is very close to the Israel-Lebanon border. Some of the Lebanese homes nearby are just about a mile away. It's been relatively quiet here since the end of the Israel-Hezbollah war in 2006, but all that could change in a hurry. During the 2006 war, Hezbollah launched nearly 4,000 rockets at Israel. Since then, Hezbollah has increased its stockpile to an estimated 40,000 rockets and moved most of them south towards the Israeli border.
Over 150 Shiite villages and others in South Lebanon are being turned slowly, gradually but surely, into Hezbollah military camps.
Israeli army spokeswoman, Lieutenant Colonel Avital Leibovitz, says Hezbollah has changed its tactics and gone underground.
They have inside warehouses, a very big number of warehouses filled with rockets, Katyusha, missiles of all sort of ranges.
In the distance is El Kayam, a Lebanese town and Hezbollah stronghold. Recently, the army released this 3D animated clip illustrating how Hezbollah is using civilian areas with schools in El Kayam to store weapons.
Hezbollah is aware of the fact that civilians can be easily used as human shields.
The United Nations resolution ending the 2006 war was supposed to keep weapons out of Hezbollah hands and keep the terror group out of the south. Now Hezbollah bars UN peacekeepers patrolling the southern area from entering the villages. Metula Mayor Herzl Boker says Hezbollah is like the arm of Iran.
What Hezbollah did in 2006 was without the permission of Iran. If it does something here, it will be with Iran's permission and serve Iran's purposes.
Israel says it holds the government of Lebanon responsible for the actions of Hezbollah. Now, following a recent cross-border incident, Israeli officials say there is a growing connection between Hezbollah and the Lebanese army. For now, it's quiet. But the recent border incident was a reminder of just how fast the situation here can change. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Metula.
Congress has frozen $100 million in aid to the Lebanese military over concerns about its ties to Hezbollah. The move follows last week's incident in which a senior Israeli army officer was killed. A Lebanese army commander ordered sniper fire while Israelis were pruning trees on the Israeli side of the border. In a rare move, United Nations peacekeepers backed Israel's version of events. Extra fat around the waistline increases your chances of dying early. A new study says men and women with bigger waistlines have twice the risk of dying in the next 10 years compared to people with smaller waistlines. Experts say the risk isn't only for people who are overweight, but anyone with too much fat around their waist. Large waistlines have also been linked to dementia, heart disease, asthma, and breast cancer. A new study says prayer really can help the sick. A research team from Indiana University conducted a study in Mozambique and Brazil. The London Daily Express reports the team studied the effects of prayer by faith healing groups. After being prayed for, people with vision problems were able to see better, and those who were almost deaf had their hearing improved. New York City's transit agency has approved a bus ad opposing the Ground Zero mosque. It shows a plane flying toward the burning World Trade Center towers, along with a picture of the proposed mosque. The ad was paid for by the American Freedom Defense Initiative. That group opposes radical Islamic influence in the U.S. New York media outlets report the Metropolitan Transportation Authority had refused to allow the ads, but the agency backed down after being sued. A Christian charity says it plans to keep working in Afghanistan, despite the brutal murders of 10 members of its medical aid team. The International Assistance Mission says it made no secret of the fact that it was a Christian organization during its 4 decades in Afghanistan. The group also says it was legally registered with the Afghan government. You can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbnnews.com.